Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Stopped for a traffic violation, Joshua Robert Bolick, age 38, of Liverpool, New York, was arrested for 22.3 grams of methamphetamine in his possession at the time of the stop. Silver Springs Police Officer Cleve Williams made the arrest Monday evening around 8 p.m. Bolick is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with a felony 2, possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, over 4 grams, less than 200 grams. He's held on a $30,000 bond.
Here's some Christmas spirit for you. Sorry, Wrong Chimney at Main Street Theater for the next 2 weekends. Let's meet the director and some of the cast.
Brenda Payne, director.
Yes.
And Kiara, tell me your whole name.
My theater name? Or
No,
your real name.
Your
My
real
real name.
person name.
My name is Kiara Stillwater.
You go to school here in Sulphur Springs?
Yes, I go to Sulphur Springs High School.
Okay, all right, good. And this is?
Hello, I'm Sydney Hawkins, and I'm a sophomore at Paris Junior College. I'm getting my associates in music right now, and yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're in lots of things locally.
I am, yes, ma'am.
And this person on the end, we would recognize by sight.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, my name is Tim McMurray, and I can't remember when I was in school.
You don't have to tell us then. But we are glad that you're part of Community Players
Thank
and
you.
associated with Main Street Theater and a big part of Sorry, Wrong Chimney.
It's been fun. It's a delightful play.
Almost everyone here has lots of experience on stage. Is that right, Brenda?
That's true.
Yes, ma'am.
In one form or another, they have all taken place and things. Now, Tim's new with us. This is his first performance with us. So,
Yes.
Tim McMurray.
Ever.
Okay. Well, tell us then why you now are on stage in Sulphur Springs.
Well, I moved to Sulphur Springs, fell in love with it. Going to stay here for a while anyway. And I went to a play, and I thought, what a fun way to engage in the community, And so I asked Brenda if she needed anybody, and she said, let me think. No.
oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So I volunteered and got tagged for the comic relief in this delightful farce that has a surprise ending that you're not going to be told what it is.
Okay, we have to go to the play.
You have to see it.
So
Exactly.
do you have past theater experience from wherever you came
No.
from? Okay. Well, I think it's a bold step for anyone and a brave one.
Well, if you don't continue to learn in life, you might as well be dead. So I thought I would step up.
He said that with a twinkle in his eye. Thank you, Santa. I love those words. Well, Sydney, now tell us about your role in Sorry, Wrong Chimney.
So I play the character Natalie, and I am friends with our neighbors, Samantha and David Tuttle, and my husband in the show, Bill, who's played by John. I don't know how to pronounce his
Davignon.
last name. Okay, John, yes. And so we're friends. We're, neighbors.
Neighborhood,
Yes.
okay.
And so we have a good friendship, and it's around Christmas time, and we just hang out and, have a great time.
Okay.
So.
Her husband is a psychiatrist.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a big part of the show, is that he is a psychiatrist. So you'll see why when you come to the show.
Okay. And now you've been very busy
Yes, ma'am, I
lately doing appearances.
Yes, ma'am, I have. We just finished the Northeast Texas Choral Society Christmas concert this past weekend. So that was always fun. Me and my mom are in that together, and I sang a solo called The Yearning.
Yes.
And so that was very fun. And
Breathtaking for the audience,
Well,
yes.
thank you. So now I'm in this and
And
trying to finish up school, and this semester
Oh.
has been crazy with school and everything, so it's just getting busier and busier.
So with this rehearsal time that's coming to an end with the performance, and then previous to that, the dining room.
Yes, I was in the dining room with Main Street in October, and I had done that show previously, and I fell in love with it, and I was so excited to do it again, and I had such a good time with all the different characters that I got to portray, so that was really fun.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to ask Kiara now. You're only 15, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you couldn't have had tons of experience on stage, but I get the feel that you're not a newcomer to the stage.
No, I've been doing theater since I was 8 years old.
Okay. Well, tell us about some things that you have been in.
I've been in the recent show from last year during the summer. I've been in Lion King Jr. I have done Romeo and Juliet, The Sissification. I have done, I don't remember.
Okay, that's good enough. But lots downtown at Main Street Theater.
Yes.
And so in Sorry, Wrong Chimney, what character do you play?
I play the role of Sheila, and I am the fiance of Chris Krigel,
Who's Santa Claus?
who's Santa Claus over here. And I just...
Lucky me.
And I just, well, he always gets into trouble, so I try to go over there and help him get out of it, but I guess I got caught up in, well, the lives of people I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
It's totally out of character for me, by the way.
Well, it sounds delightful, Brenda, and I can't wait to be able to come to the play. So you have quite a collection. You have 7 characters total.
That's correct, and they are all doing a really good job of fitting into their characters. We've got, we've got the young couple who are trying to have Christmas. Okay.
Bring your mic a little bit closer to you there. Yeah. There you go.
We have a young couple that's trying to have Christmas, but the husband keeps disappearing in the evenings, and she gets disappointed at that. So she cries on her neighbor's shoulder, who is Natalie, and they're trying to get this whole thing straightened out. And when you've got a psychiatrist in there who decides that he knows how to fix everything, and
It becomes a problem.
and then through all this, then the policeman shows up.
Oh, good.
And everybody has to try to figure out what to do with this policeman. And trust me, you're going to love what happens to this policeman. So
Something to do with the ending that he won't tell us.
that's part of it. And he's got another thing. It's a comedy, so we can't tell you ahead of time because
It's a surprise.
Then you wouldn't laugh.
It's a surprise.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a Christmas comedy. It's a holiday farce, and you don't really know how it's going to end.
Correct.
well, we do, but we're not telling.
Well, hopefully we do. That'd be kind of bad if we didn't even know.
We know how it's scripted, but we
There
don't know
you
how
go.
it really will end
We're
up.
going to make it happen.
Right.
Well, is there a lot of memorization and a lot of lines?
I think so. With only 7 characters, it's quite a bit, where we're all on stage at the same time, and so there's always, something happening from someone, and yes, there's quite a bit of memorization.
So that's a skill that people need when they come to volunteer to play
Yes.
in some of the performances we do at Main Street Theater, which is at least a half dozen per year in the season.
That's correct. We try to have 6 shows a year, one of them being our children's show in the summertime. And then, it just varies from there what we're going to put on. So
Kiara started out in children's theater, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I actually did also a long time ago. I started when I was her age. I started at 8 years old at Main Street, and so I was in Main Street for a while, and then I moved to Shining Star Productions with Amanda Thompson Brandenburg.
I did the same.
Yes, and I've been in cabarets and shows with her for a long time, and then I did shows through middle school and high school, and now I'm back to Main Street, which is a pretty cool circle, just coming back to the place where I started in that, small little theater on the stage, and it's pretty cool to, see it full circle, so.
Well, I think it's good to take advantage of all things that are offered within the community as far as our
Definitely.
culture, because we do have arts and culture here. We're a
Yes.
Definitely.
staunch part of that
Yes,
at Main Street Theater.
Right.
The most veteran one of all, I would say.
I think it's also a lot of fun to learn from young people who have had experience like these girls have had, because they can give me advice that is relevant to what's going on right then and there. So it's really uplifting, inspiring, I think.
More good words from Santa.
There you go.
Wisdoms.
Well, you know, Main Street Theater has been in existence here in Sulphur Springs for more than 35 years. So we have had a huge number of people passing through, and they have some even gone on to be, far more than what.
Well, even if I'd started then, I'd still be twice as old as these, or 3 times as old.
Well, Brenda, tell us some about your experience. You've been directing plays here and before you came here?
Well, I started being in plays in high school, so we're not going back that far to tell you how many years it was. But I've had experience. Started out, of course, just being in plays, and then you graduate from there to directing. So it's been a real experience, and I am so glad we have such talent in this town that we can pull it together and really put some things together that entertain, the teaching experiences with the children's workshop has been really good. I know there's a lot of the ones who started out in there that have gone on and really enjoyed things, and so into high school and into college and on to there.
Well, and have been inspired to get their children involved too, because now we have at least 2 generations of summer workshop folks coming back.
That's true. It's been really good. As far as I'm concerned, it's a great asset to the community.
Yes. Now you have a co-director on this play.
Yes, Barbara Grubbs is working with me on this, so we can help each other out. How's that?
Okay. And speaking of Children's Summer Workshop, that's not the only one that he does, but David Woody is just such a staple for Main Street Theater.
Oh yes, definitely, and willing to step in and help out wherever necessary, and that's something you really need with community, because it's not, we're not paying anybody to do this. It's all volunteer work. So.
Well, it definitely has a life of its own behind the curtain. So in community theater, you get to be almost like a family.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Within each production, and then of course transcending beyond that to your friendships. But anything could happen. A set needs changing, or something isn't right, or the sound, or whatever, or a person can't fill their role, and David Woody steps in.
Right. I have seen the time when I came to see a show, was sitting back up in the audience, and they said, so-and-so's sick tonight. Can you come up and read the part for us? Wow. It happens,
Yeah.
So.
That's kind of like, that's how life is.
Yes.
Things occur, and you've got to be able to weave and dodge and make it work.
That's right. So, but we've been very fortunate having the people that we have had over the years as part of community players. So,
is there some sort of archive of posters you think that shows every performance that's ever
there
been
are collections, but sometimes they aren't always easy to find.
Okay. I think that would be so interesting to see all that at some time. Because all of us have either seen the plays, maybe been in the plays, been a friend of someone who was in the plays, and it connects us.
I usually collect T-shirts.
Right. Yeah, I have all the posters and T-shirts from all the shows that I've been in, and memorabilia and keepsake stuff that we have in storage buildings everywhere. It's all kind of just spread out,
Well, we have just a little bit of time. I'm going to ask Kiara what you envision yourself as doing as part of being in plays as you grow older.
Good question. Well,
do you think you will continue?
Oh, definitely. I love acting. Acting is like a second nature. It's just so easy and comfortable, but there are some places where it's hard and you have to keep at it. Don't give up. It gets frustrating. You get upset. You get tired, but you still have to do it because you know that you're going to become better after you achieved your goal. And I'm just hoping that I can take a career in acting or even singing, since I enjoyed both.
Great. Kind of like Sydney is doing. Sydney, what do you foresee?
Yes, I would love to pursue a career in performing, whether that's dancing, singing, acting. I love musical theater. I love operas.
So that's what I'm working towards right now with my associates, and I'm not sure, if more schooling is in my future or what I'm going to do, after this associate's degree, if I'm going to go try to, start working with a theater company or something maybe in Dallas, and I've thought about, several different avenues that I could go, maybe working on a cruise ship, maybe moving to Branson, Missouri, and, because their performance scene is amazing. So I don't know what's in store, but definitely acting and singing and all of those things I want to keep doing. So
wonderful. And Brenda and Chris Kringle, could I ask if y'all would just stay here in Sulphur Springs and continue helping us with plays on our local stage?
Well, I thought you were going to ask Tim what he was going to do when he grew up.
Well, I will if we have time, Santa, but I think we are out of time. No. We will see you at Main Street Theater starting this Friday night.
Friday night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you.
Here's Don Julian with news and sports.
First, in news, 2 Sulphur Springs High School taffy students earned a trip to state competition at a regional contest last week. Debbie Stribling is the SSHS taffy sponsor.
This year at Sulphur Springs High School, in addition to having FCCLA, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, we also have a group this year called TAFE, which stands for Texas Association of Future Educators. And it is open to any student at Sulphur Springs High School that is interested in becoming a teacher.
Oh, okay. And so you have some exciting taffy news for us.
I sure do. And I looked at our taffy membership roll a while ago, and we have approximately 50 members this year for our very first year to have a taffy chapter here at Sulphur Springs High School. And this past Friday at the Region 8 Service Center in Pittsburgh, I took 2 students to compete in taffy competition at the regional level, and I also took 2 students to observe the taffy competition so they can be prepared for next year. And the 2 students that competed both advanced on to state competition, which will be held in February in Allen, Texas.
What do they do at the competition for this?
Well, what my students participated in an event called Teacher Created Materials, and they had to create a material that a teacher could use in a classroom setting. One of my students created a mock Pac-Man along with the little guys that go with a Pac-Man, the little ghost, and her project was called Zap, 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 Zap That Math. So it was pretty exciting. It was pretty creative and clever. And my other student did a matching game of colors where she had the colors listed on a bulletin board, and the students had to take a stick, and on the end of the stick there was a picture of an everyday object, and they had to match the object to the color that it would be. But there are all different types of events. We saw different events. I judged events in public speaking where the students were given an impromptu topic and they came in and they did their presentation. There was also prepared speaking. Students could also participate in presenting a lesson plan that they did. There were all kinds of events, and I've already started planning for taffy for next year and getting more students involved in taffy.
These can be just anybody that is interested in being a teacher in any field? Or?
That is correct. Any career in education.
So these contests are based on things that teachers would encounter later on, right?
Exactly. You're exactly right.
All right. Well, exciting news. Always exciting to have them go to state. Did you tell us who they were?
Yes, Zoe Wilson and Cassidy Winborn. And they're both seniors. And they're in our practicum class here. They go off. Zoe works here at Sulphur Springs High School with Carla Buck's class, and then Cassidy goes to an elementary school and spends 2 periods a day over there.
All right. So they'll go to state and do the same kind of
Yes, we'll do the
contest.
same event. And what happens at state, as did what happened at region, is they're scored 90 to 100. At region level, 90 to 100 advance on to state. And at state, 90 to 100 are recognized in the final general session.
In sports, the Wildcats football team landed 22 players on the all-district football team, including 9 selections on the first team. 2 players got 2 spots on the first team, and 1 Wildcat got a first team and second team selection. The all-district list was released Monday by Wildcats football coach Greg Owens. Senior Austin Dodd was selected as a first-team wide receiver and first-team safety. Senior Jermon Bryant Amos was named a first-team tight end and first-team punter. Other Wildcats on the first-team offense included senior quarterback DeCorian Young and senior wide receiver Landry Tyson and senior offensive tackle Charlie Maddox. Other Wildcats on the first-team all-district defense were senior defensive lineman Ignacio Guerrero and junior outside linebacker Kylan Wade. Landry Tyson also earned a second-team defense all-district selection as a safety. Other Wildcats on the all-district second team were junior running back DeCorian Chalk Sims, senior offensive lineman Philip Rader, senior defensive lineman Jose Rodriguez, and senior inside linebacker Daniel Marino. Wildcats earning honorable mention all-district honors were senior running back Colton Allen, sophomore running back Caden Davis, senior offensive lineman Hayden Daniel, Ethan Rogers, and Jacob Janitis, defensive lineman senior Evan Rushing and junior Cameron Calford, senior inside linebacker Bryce McQueen, senior outside linebacker D.Q. Pitts, and senior cornerbacks Damian Dugan and Andy Edens. 10 Wildcats and a team manager also made the Texas High School Coaches Association academic all-state football team. Making first team were Austin Dodd, Payson Edwards, Ethan Rogers, and Landry Tyson. Making the second team academic all-state football team were team manager Carson Bridges, also Connor Bergen, and Daniel Marino. And honorable mention selections were Blaine Hohenberger, Charlie Maddox, Evan Rushing, and Jace Thompson.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.